So our journey into dynamic pricing kind of started with a challenge. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? Because Rachel was more involved in those conversations.
So at the zoo every year, our holiday event, we call it Festival of Lights. It starts roughly the third week of November and gets us through New Year's Day. So typically for that, to increase our attendance earlier in the event for those Mondays, those Tuesdays, those Wednesday nights that are really, really slow, we're not seeing a lot of visitors, try to get more people there. We've always partnered with a local company that has sponsored those nights. It's the first 3 sets of those nights, so 9 nights in total are sponsored, and we do a half-price night. And those nights have been really great for us. However, last year, kind of towards the beginning of the event, we found out we didn't have a sponsorship. So our leadership team came to us and said, we don't have a sponsorship. What do you guys want to do? Do you have any ideas? Do you have any tricks up your sleeve? And so I just looked at Jared, said we got to figure this out. But it was a really great opportunity for us. We utilize Festival of Lights as that kind of testing ground for us. It's an evening event, so there's not a lot of zoo leadership there sometimes, so we can sneak some things in under the radar and see if it's going to work. And if we get in trouble, it's okay. It's only 6 weeks. We'll fix it back when we get back into our regular season. But it has definitely been a really great testing ground for us. So Jared and I got together, started talking through dynamic pricing. What does that look like? Is it something we can do? It was something we kind of dipped our toes into, started learning about it years and years ago at the zoo, but our leadership team wasn't ready for it. But knowing we don't have a sponsorship, knowing we've got to get people out to the zoo, it felt like this was a really great opportunity. Let's take 6 weeks, let's give this a try, and let's see what happens. A part of that research for us was connecting with a lot of different people. Diginex is who we partnered with on this endeavor. They said they could get it together in 3 months if we really tried. We said, cool, how about 6 weeks? And they rose to the occasion, for sure. They've been a great partner. So I can kind of go through the stats here with you guys, but Festival of Lights is a really, really big event for us at the zoo. We see over 200,000 visitors. It can either, make a really, really great year for us or make a rough year for us, and it's towards the end of our fiscal year. So it's a really important opportunity for us, and we really pull out all the stops to make sure that it's a really great event for us at the zoo. So some areas that we really wanted to start focusing on when we started down this path with Diginex was, how are we going to talk to the visitors about it? Plan ahead pricing is new. Most of you, I assume, are not from Cincinnati, but maybe have this issue in your own hometowns. Change does not go over well. So we're going to change things up on our visitors, and we're kind of doing it last minute. How are we going to talk to them about it? How are we going to educate them on it? And how are we going to make sure they know that this is to benefit them? It's not price gouging. We're not trying to get, $26 where we used to try to get $19. We want them to plan ahead. We want them to be strategic when they're coming. And we want to give them a little bit of a reward for planning ahead early. So the sooner you buy that ticket, the sooner you commit to a night to come visit us and see the lights, the cheaper that ticket's going to be for you. And we also had to make sure, we always advertise those half-price nights, so now we don't have them anymore. So how are we going to get our people excited about not paying half price, but paying a little bit more, but still getting a really great experience when they came to the zoo? Sorry, jump in.
No, it's all good. So one thing that we instituted a few years ago was an attempt to intentionally try to get folks to purchase online. So every year, we take a category, whether it's adult tickets or child, senior, and parking, and we would raise it by $1 just to continue the trend. So what we did on the year that we decided to really push our online pricing was take our online price and keep that where it was and raise the gate price by a couple bucks. So that way, it would obviously spur people to purchase their tickets online. Side note, we do have a convenience fee of $3 per transaction and have not received one complaint in the 4 years that we've done it. So if you're not doing that and you utilize the web store, you are missing a lot of money. So we continued to offer that discount when we went into plan ahead pricing. So $2 per ticket, just a clean $2, more expensive at the gate than what it was online. We also decided we were a little nervous for folks that decided to arrive before Festival of Lights. The zoo opens at 10 a.m. daily regardless, so if it's a Festival of Lights day and it is frigid cold, there are still people that will come out because they want to see animals and they don't care about the lights. So we were concerned that if we had a ticket price at $23 or $25, is that really worth it if somebody's coming out to the zoo beforehand? So we actually set something up to offer a discounted ticket for folks that were visiting before 2 p.m. So we set those tickets as a pre-Festival of Lights ticket and made sure that folks knew on the ticket itself, on the web store, that ticket was not valid to be scanned after 2 p.m. So we actually set that access code where the usage stopped at 2 p.m. so they couldn't use it after 2 p.m. And then with combined efforts of Gateway, Kooky Ventures over in the UK, and then the Diginex team, we miraculously put together that project very quickly and launched on time to be able to pull everything off with our microsite with a really awesome gauge to be able to show people our expected attendance and color code everything so it was very easy to understand. So we've got some graphics that we used. And then that's what our microsite somewhat currently still looks like, or actually that's what it looks like right now. So shout out to the folks that did presentations last year on dynamic pricing. I was actually able to use a lot of your stuff when we were talking to our leadership team about how successful it's been for you all, and then took some of those ideas too and put it into our microsite and made some tweaks.
We also, just like Jared said a couple years ago, we really started pushing our efforts to have people buy tickets online. So on average, we were somewhere between 2 to 5% of our ticket sales were online. Doing that plan where we went ahead and just raised our gate price by $2 but did not raise our online price, we were sitting in the 20, 25, 30% of our tickets were sold online. So it was a really good program for us. It worked out really great for us. And we did have that tagline of buy online, but we didn't push it nearly as much as we do now with dynamic pricing and really pushing that idea of buy online and save. You could see in those marketing pieces that we had in the previous slide, they made sure to bold save, they made sure to push it. We talked to a lot of other zoos and aquariums out there that are doing dynamic pricing, kind of stole some things from their website on dynamic pricing and how to do it and how to talk through it with our visitors. So it was really, really great. So this is kind of what the process looks for us. Every day we get an email at 2 p.m. and it has pricing recommendations. Usually the prices are going to be recommended to change in the next 1, 2, or 3 days, but sometimes we've seen them as far as a week out. You know, as we get into our summer season, we're really busy, or we got closer to Christmas time with Festival of Lights. More and more people are buying their tickets online. More and more things are going on. There always seems to be that really beautiful day, like 5 days before Christmas. It's 60 degrees out, and everybody wants to come to the zoo. So we're seeing things like that on a regular basis. We'll get that information. We'll click on the link, and there are many times where my team and I will sit in my office and one of their offices. We're looking at pricing recommendations. I've been at the zoo now for 16 years. Jared's been there for 11. We've got other folks in our team that have been there for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years. So we have a lot of experience under our belt. We don't always agree with the crazy algorithm that's been created. Sometimes we want to take it a little bit higher than what the algorithm suggests us to do, and we do that. And sometimes we don't even agree. So we'll duke it out, and whoever wins the rock, paper, scissors match gets to decide what the price is. So we, you know, that internal, that gut feeling that you get when you've been at a place for a long time and you're looking down at a beautiful weekend and you've got a lot of events going on at the zoo, you know what you want that price to look like, and you know where you want to take it. So while we don't always agree on the algorithm, we typically will talk through it with each other. We'll look at the weather, we'll look at the hourly weather, and we'll see what's going on. And sometimes we change it, and sometimes we go with that pricing recommendation. So there's a really nice platform within Diginex that they use. So this is, this is what it looks like. So you can see, you know, we've got 4 different pricing recommendations that their algorithm is suggesting that we use. And that pricing recommendation is based on a ton of different things. It can be weather, it can be what kind of traffic we're seeing online, it could be different events going on in the region. that we're competing with. But, so you look at this day and you see that they want to increase the price by $1. So we can either choose to accept that, or we can reject it and we can change it, or we can reject it and keep it for the price that it's currently at. One of the things that we wanted to make sure we didn't do with our organization and our tickets is the ticket will never go lower. It will only stay the same or go higher. We didn't want someone to pay $17 on Monday and then it's raining on Saturday now, and so people that are coming and buying their tickets on Friday for Saturday, they get to pay $15. We really didn't want to deal with that with our visitors. So we made sure the sooner you buy your ticket, the sooner you commit to that day, that's where you're really going to get your most bang for your buck. So we'll go in, we'll look at this, we'll see what the pricing recommendations are. We'll either accept it, reject it. It's a pretty quick and easy process. Someone on my team gets into it every single day. You can also automate it so that if nobody touches it, nothing happens. We were like, no, we'll get in it every single day. We'll do it every single day. And then there was that one day where nobody got into it, and whoops, we forgot to get the pricing recommendations, and it was during Festival of Lights, and it was really beautiful weather.
It was painful.
We definitely missed out on some opportunities there. So we called Chris up, and we're like, just make it automatic in case we forget to do it again. So it's a really easy process. We enjoy doing it, and I certainly enjoy the conversations with my team when we don't even agree with each other on what the prices will be, but we'll talk through it, and we'll make a decision as a team together. So here are some of our results. We had a really, really great Festival of Lights. We saw 7% growth in our attendance. Our members really love Festival of Lights, and they decided to show up even more this past year than they had in the past. One of the really huge, great things to see there is our revenue growth. Our revenue grew by 9%, which was really big for us. So, we're only seeing a 7% growth in attendance, and only 5 of that are people that are buying tickets. Yet we still saw 9% growth in revenue. We did have some feedback from our visitors about the pricing. Most of it's just that learning curve. People don't understand. The sooner they buy the ticket, the more money they save. So just talking through that with people, making sure everybody understands, making sure when we do get those complaints, again, minimal. I think we had less than 5 for the whole 6 weeks of Festival of Lights.
And 2 of those complaints, people were griping about the price. The price actually would have been lower than our normal price. So kind of take those out of.
Right. So, it was pretty minimal, and a lot of people, it worked out really well for our team too, because on a night where we knew, our typical cost for an adult ticket used to be $19. So we knew on a night where we were looking at a $24 ticket, it was going to be busy. So get ready, get everybody here to the zoo, get our staff hyped, get them excited. Let's get them out there. Like Jared said, we run our parking lots. Nothing is more exciting than being in a parking lot on an 18,000 person night. It's big, it's fun, but we can gear and get our staff ready for that, which is also a really helpful thing with dynamic pricing. We did do ticket exchanges, so if you bought a ticket for Friday and you were like, shoot, I can't come, I'm going to come on Saturday instead, not a problem. Give us a call, we'll exchange that ticket. But if you paid $17 and you're coming on a day that's going to cost $19, you will have to pay that $2 ticket exchange. Nobody minds. They're just grateful that we'll go ahead and honor that ticket that they did buy. We'll exchange their tickets, send them out some new tickets, void the previous order, and all is good. And that's something that our supervisor team can do. They jump in there pretty easily, and they get it taken care of. One of the challenges that we saw through Festival of Lights was we do offer our members a half-price ticket. So they get 2 half-price tickets every visit that they come to the zoo. The only way we could give them those half-price tickets was if they came to the zoo to buy those tickets. So we could sell them the tickets in advance, but they had to be physically present at the zoo, and you can only imagine how happy people are about that. So, they could be paying for a $13 ticket, where in the past they were paying for an $8 ticket. So that was definitely one of the things that we had to figure out as we got into dynamic pricing down the road. Same with our group discounts. They weren't at all impacted by dynamic pricing. So we had to figure out, how do we make that impact, and how do we make it mirror what we are doing on a regular day?
So 2019 plan ahead pricing, we made some changes for our regular season. We added a couple more microsites and a landing page for folks, so that way there was no confusion whatsoever. We wanted a one-stop shop. When you click to buy a ticket, no matter what it is, you're going to the same place. All of the ticketing pages, our navigation is all organized in that one place. We are allowing members to purchase their half-price tickets online now, which was something pretty cool that we set up with the Gateway team and Kooky Ventures. Groups of 15 or more are now able to buy those tickets online as well. So as Rachel touched on a little bit earlier, our ticket pricing is all a derivative of the adult price. So the child price is a certain amount off. Our member, whatever the adult price is, like that is our one constant, and then everything comes off of that. So we did the same thing for the member tickets, and then the same thing for the groups of 15 or more as well. We learned the hard way when selling packages online. Typically our adventure ticket, which is our top tiered package, it's $10 more than the general admission, was selling between 15 and 20% online. When we moved to plan ahead pricing for Festival of Lights, that dipped and it was like 7 to 9%, which is pretty terrible. So we learned the hard way, obviously going through Festival of Lights with that lower percentage, and moved that to the top of the list. So the first thing that people see as a ticket option is the adventure ticket. I'm happy to say that that has jumped up and it's like 30% now. So that's awesome, and we're giving people that awesome experience when they come to the zoo. We also added an any day ticket, which was a huge desire from a lot of folks because they want to come to the zoo, but they don't know what specific day they want to come. So we made that our top price. So it's $26 for an any day ticket, which is the maximum price we would ever charge for a daily rate. And a lot of people buy it just because they don't know what day they're going to come. We made those adjustments to the derivatives for the group pricing, our corporate client pricing. So this wasn't just a conversation that we had within the visitor experience team and the membership team. We actually branched out. We got our marketing team involved. We got our group sales team involved because that strategy had to change. The corporate ticket prices that were all staggered based on how many tickets some of our corporate clients were selling, those prices had to change too to meet the demand that we were seeing with dynamic pricing or plan ahead pricing. So that way we could make sure as well that that special pricing was still intact for those corporate clients and that there weren't a lot of occasions where they would be paying significantly higher than what the gate price would be even 2-3 weeks out. Our Galaxy Connect distributor ticket offerings are set at any day prices just because we don't have that ability to be able to kind of stagger that based on what the daily rate is. So we have that all go off of the any day price, and then we give a discount on that so that way they're still getting a good price. This is what our landing page looks like. So this is the one-stop shop. So zoo admission, group admission, and member half-price tickets all go to their own separate microsites. The corporate and affiliate discount goes to group sales on the web. So though that's not a microsite and it's not within plan ahead pricing, we still wanted an opportunity for those folks to not get lost when they're trying. I mean, because if you get somebody on your website, you want them to quickly be able to get to where they need to go and not have to fish around to find something, because they're going to get impatient, they're going to run out of time, and they're just going to stop the process and not buy the ticket. So we wanted to have that one-stop shop. On the right-hand side, you can see our member half-price tickets. We are actually making a call into eGalaxy, and we're querying the membership ID, the visual ID, and the last name on the pass. If that comes back as a match, it lets them into the microsite. So that's pretty cool. That's something that we worked on with Kooky. They said that they hadn't done that before. So we're really proud of that. It works really, really well. We haven't heard of any issues with it. We have lots of members that are buying their half-price tickets online. And yeah, it's working out really well. Maybe. There we go. So our 2019 results so far.
So Jared and I, we look at the numbers a lot. We look at the numbers every day. But when we were getting ready for this presentation, kind of taking a step back to look at how things have gone through August. So our fiscal year starts in April. So this is just April through August. So we're 5 months into our fiscal year. Our attendance is down a little bit, but our member visitation is up. One of the things we are asking ourselves and trying to figure out how we can make the correlation, or if there is a correlation, is dynamic pricing impacting our member purchases? And if so, then maybe we're seeing our memberships increase partially because of dynamic pricing, but also because we offer a lot of really great things at the zoo. So member visitation is up. Our online sales are up, which is really great. Jared mentioned that convenience fee that we do charge, $3 per transaction. That number is also up because of this. Our revenue is up year over year by $870,000. That's a pretty big number. You know, thank you. When I look at the numbers too, I want to break it down. So I'm looking at what did we do last year? What did those numbers look like? If I take what we saw, what we have been seeing this year, and I utilize our pricing that we had last year, and then I look at where we are with dynamic pricing. Dynamic pricing has brought into our zoo year over year already, 5 months into the fiscal year, over $1 million. That's pretty astounding. That's pretty big, and we're doing it with fewer people coming through the gates buying tickets.
And higher member percentage, which is obviously, as everybody knows, huge.
So again, just like with Festival of Lights, we're having minimal ticket exchanges, minimal complaints. Again, it's more educating people, explaining to them what dynamic pricing is. We call it plan ahead pricing. Just gives it a bit more of a positive spin to it and gives people kind of the clarity on what it is and how it can benefit you, help you with your budget, help you with your schedule, et cetera, et cetera. And again, we're seeing these big revenue growths with minimal sales from the Connect distributors. So it has been wildly successful for us, and we're really happy with it.